what we will do is I'll just give an outline of where we're at with regard to the remediation of the cottages, and then Trish can do a little bit of an update of what's happening at the other sites and with the residents that have been dispersed that remain. So yesterday we had a bit of a catch up with all of the people that are involved with the project and making that happen. And we have been given the information that the insurer is to give us approval for a selected builder. We're hoping to have that by close of business tomorrow. And what that will mean is that we are looking at mid-November as the finalisation of the remediation program. We will be looking.
That's amazing.
Well, we're hoping that everything falls into place, Meredith, and that we can actually get one of the cottages online prior to the finalisation of the program. But obviously, safety is the key focus with getting everything in place. So there'll be, in that 18-week program, there'll be a guaranteed return of one of the cottages, the activities area, the cafe, and the reception area. So that's a really good start. And unfortunately, I think we have lost a few of our residents that were relocated due to just natural attrition over time. But we are looking to be able to return the remainder back as soon as practicable. So we do have some other news with regard to the subsidence that had happened on the lower side of the Tennyson building. So the engineering reports have come back and said that the building is stable and hasn't been, the footings haven't been damaged in any way. So the backfill of that is to commence very soon. We're just trying to organise the logistics of that. And with the cottages that will be coming back online, there is an element of contemporisation that's happening with that. So there'll be some nice new, what do they call it? Not fixtures and fittings, but effects. The decoration itself will be a little bit more contemporary and new and fresh looking. So it's going to be an exciting time to have our residents return back to bright, shiny new cottages.
That sounds like the icing on the cake.
I think so, and it'd be wonderful if we can get everybody back home before Christmas, I think, so that we can have a sense of normality. It would. So, Trish,
fabulous.
Trish, would you like to be able to provide a bit of an update of what's happening with the residents that are located at other services at the moment?
Sure. So, thanks, Bobby Jo. We've got 2 residents still at Clive Bajou, 7 at Brigadoon, 2 residents at Bribie Island, and 4 residents at with outside providers. We have been bringing residents back on a case-by-case basis. Depending on the room that's been made available, we are looking at how close to the exit is it, how easy is it to access the outside area, is it safe for the resident to be walking around. We've looked at those factors and how close to the nurses station it is. Right now, I've got a bit of a predicament. There's one resident who is upstairs, and she keeps on walking in other people's rooms all the time. And see, people like this, we would prefer to have them closer to the nurses station, because obviously they are coming into an area where some other residents have been there for a very long time, and most of them who were existing residents here were pretty intact in their cognition. So we don't want to upset other people while we're doing this move as well. Having said that, there is one room that is available, and I've already spoken to a family member about that. So one more person from Brigadoon will be coming back. But yeah, we are quite limited in what we can do for the residents that are able to mobilise by themselves, particularly for their own safety. We don't want them to be unsafe or end up in the car park or things like this. So
Yes,
that's
it's
what
a
I've
big
got.
issue for the wanderers, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Can I ask
and
which?
also, sorry.
Sorry,
No, you're right,
Trish. I'll
Meredith.
leave it till the end.
But that's all right. I was going to say the residents that are already existing here, like downstairs, some residents go out, even in the car park, go for a walk. So the last thing we want is for other residents to come here, and the ones who don't have much of are not cognitively intact, follow those residents or end up in the car park as well. But the bus trips, Meredith, as you know, that's still going every week. Wayne
And
was
that's
there for all
fabulous. Thank you
the whole
so much.
day. That's okay. So that's all I've got.
So, Trish, can I ask which cottage may be refurbished first?
With I believe it's going to be Kuyong, Meredith. Having said that, with the number of residents that we have left, it's not necessarily that it's going to be like for like, because we will try to bring in as many residents as we can once the cottages are ready. So yeah, it could, whichever cottage it's going to be, the majority of the residents who are out with other providers will be coming back.
Okay.
So 13, 14, 15.
I
Because right now
understand.
I've got
I understand.
You're right. There's 15 residents with other providers, whether churches or quasi or external. And one cottage can fit 12 residents. So the majority will be coming back.
Okay.
Meredith, did you have any other questions, or are there any concerns that you have?
Oh no, I guess not. I just hope that when they look at the external and they look at the landscaping, that the drains around the perimeter of the property will be kept clear, because they were filling up with a whole lot of shrubbery and various bits and bobs.
Well, Meredith,
I
I can
don't know whether
confirm that
that's
we're actually engaging a gardener contractor to be able to maintain the gardens on the site
fantastic.
moving forward. So I should imagine that'll be part of their remit to make sure that those areas are actually free of leaf litter and plant matter, so that we can sort of remediate the chance of this happening again.
Lovely, Bobby Joe, lovely. I used to often look at it and think, my goodness, that is filling up.
And it doesn't take much, because, you know, the Mitchelton area is such a leafy area. So it's something that we need to maintain on a regular basis.
Okay, so the bacterial levels are all good now. I think you reported that last time.
Yep, we've received all of the formal reports for that, and everything's safe to go ahead. The building wouldn't actually be able to commence unless that was all tickety-boo. So that's all been marked off, ready to go.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Like I said
before,
all right,
well, safety. That's absolutely brilliant news to think they might be. Well, hopefully Michael will be back by Christmas. It's been a long time.
We've got our fingers crossed, that's for sure. So the only thing that I can see that may be a contributing factor to any delay would be the actual resourcing of any supplies, but the building companies are actually the ones that we're engaging or hoping to engage, the preference of the insurer due to their ability to be able to source those items. So fingers crossed we won't have any of those issues.
Oh, that's brilliant news. Thank you.
I'm glad we can make your day like that.
And when is the next meeting? Because we've had quite a long time between meetings, and understandably nothing was happening. There wasn't really much point, was there?
No, not really. We didn't really have much to tell. So I think the communication will probably increase and decrease depending on what's happening within the actual remediation program. So I think if we keep it at, you know, a scheduled monthly meeting, and if there's anything that happens in the meantime that needs to be communicated, well, then we can definitely reach out and send invites to an earlier meeting.
Fabulous, fabulous.
That sounds okay?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Welcome, Diana. You're a bit of a late dial-in. Would you like us to catch you up?
If you don't mind, I was actually had followed the link from Outlook, and I was sitting on a screen saying, you know, the meeting will start, you know, and people will let you in, kind of thing. And then I just thought I'll try following the link in the email, and that's how I got to your meeting. So for some reason, the Outlook going via Outlook didn't work properly for me. So.
Okay, then it might be safe just to follow the connections in the email moving forward.
I thought it was going to be easier to just click on the appointment that said join online. So I did that, and then I've been sitting there waiting for like 10 or more minutes, and then I started trying other options.
Well, sorry that that's happened, Diana. I'll just bring you up to speed.
Yeah.
We
we're right. Yeah.
We haven't received a formalised approval from the insurer as yet, but we're hoping to have that by close of business tomorrow. And once that's done, we're looking, if everything goes well tomorrow, mid-November to finalise the remediation program, all being well. But the view will be to return one of the cottages earlier before the end of that end of program time frame. So obviously we need to ensure that everything's happening safely, and that we have, you know, everything in place to be able to return the activity centre, the cafe, the reception area repairs, and at least one of the cottages by that date. So we're hoping to have all of our remaining Moonah Park cottages back on site well and truly before Christmas. All being well. The only thing that we can see is a possibility of a delay is the actual sourcing of materials. But as I mentioned before, the preference for the builder that the insurance company is leaning towards is due to the fact that they have ability to source what is needed.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand the potential for delays because my GP was expecting to go back to his regular clinic next month, at the end of next month. But I was told yesterday it might be October now before the original clinic gets finished and he can move back. So, yeah, there's delays everywhere.
It's a bit of a balancing act, I think.
Yes.
Very much so. And the Trish was just mentioning that the bus is still able to travel backwards and forwards between the Brigadoon facility and Moonah Park on the regular basis. So I'm not sure where your loved one's located at the moment, but if they're at Brigadoon, that's always an option should that transport be a tricky situation for you.
Well, it's not actually at the moment convenient times for me because I have insomnia at the moment. So, yeah, it makes it tricky for me to function on normal hours. So.
Okay, then. Well, we hope you can get that sorted soon because it's not a good place to be, that one.
No, I've been in it since the end of 2020, so it's taking a while.
So, Diana, do you have any other questions or concerns around the remediation that you would like to share?
I don't think so.
Okay, then. So we will be having the subsidence rectified on the lower side of the Tennyson building. The engineers report have come back and that's all structurally safe. So it's just a matter of having that space backfilled now, and we're in the process of organising the logistics of that. But other than that, it looks as if we're looking at mid-November as a return to somewhat of normality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, right, I think that's fabulous news. I was expecting much longer, so good on you, folks.
Thanks, Meredith. We appreciate your being the cheer squad in the corner there.
I have to be the cheer squad, and I just say thank you for keeping Michael safe out at Brigadoon, away from bacteria and all those other things. And he is one of the candidates who will not, cannot stay in a confined area without sort of some restraint of, such as was in the cottages, which was amazing for him. So can't wait for that to happen. He has been well looked after at Brigadoon. I cannot fault it. And he's just a happy wanderer. My husband is a happy wanderer.
Well, that's great, Meredith. I'll be sure to pass your good wishes on to the Brigadoon team next time I speak with them.
Yes, I'm in touch with them and they've been great. So thank you.
Goodo. All right then, everyone. So communications will come out as to when the next meeting will be held. And yes, the link will be inside the email. So that will be the easiest way to access the next meeting. But should there be any changes that happen before the next scheduled meeting, we'll be sure to be in touch with everyone.
And can I say good luck to Moonah Park? I believe there's a few COVID cases. And so my heart goes out to you.
Thanks, Meredith.
Okay,
Take
everyone.
care.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye now.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.